Hey everybody, this is Paul with Freedom Bulkheads. We're in one of my new stores. It's beautiful. You can see we got this art on the wall, and we have these cool blue sconces. My daughter was here. She does our marketing for our stores. It's just, I think I want those at all the stores. They look so cool. And I just wanted to show off today. We love our washers. They're really pretty. A lot of the washer brands are super pretty now. Hey guys, how are we doing today? I love the Ideal. Which is great. I think even one of the Alliance brand has kind of upped their stainless game. They look beautiful. All of them look great. I think they look well. I like the Dexters. I actually bought Dexter at the beginning because they look so great. And one of the things that I was, one of the motivations I had to get in the bulkhead business is that I didn't like the way some of the bulkheads looked. And what I discovered as I went along is I really didn't want to see the bulkheads at all. So I just walked down this whole row. And the only place you can see the bulkheads on this row is on the very end. They have 20s, and the 20s and the bulkheads are a couple inches below it. But if you notice, when I walked past, you didn't see them at all. I'm gonna lift my hand. Can you see the bulkheads? Can you see the covers? You can't see them at all. And I'm 5'11", and I'm holding the phone way over my head, and you can't even see. Can you see them? If y'all see them over there at the 20s, there's some people down there I don't want to mess with. Thanks, guys. You haven't seen the bulkhead covers at all. So a lot of the discussion I get with people about their units is about the covers and what we're used to. We don't want to see the hoses. I'm with you. And so this is my store, and you can just open this door, pick up these covers, and walk all the way down. I was just with one of my teammates at another store. It's a shotgun store as well. And there was a water leak about halfway in, and I just picked up the covers and walked down there. And you can't do that. I said, I was telling him, if you had a normal style bulkhead, you'd have to crawl over the machine and dive down into it, which means the back of all your lids are bent from walking over there. And on this one, I can just open this door, pick up these lids, and walk down there. Now it's our store, so it's kind of like the plumber whose own house leaks. These are 4-foot pieces. I just kind of quickly put them in there. We didn't even have them when we opened because, again, you can't even see them. So they keep trash from falling behind it. And actually, I made a mistake here, and I did not, I just set the cover, we had the bases set, and I just put the bulkheads back here, and we forgot to take those blue things off. And turns out that they're not supported, so I couldn't just cut them off from the floor. I'd have to build something. So we just shoved the bulkheads close to the machine. So you can see they're really close, and they're way off the wall. They were designed to be right on the wall and give us 3.5 inches of room. But we didn't have that. We just trimmed them a little bit and made do, and it all works, right? And I just walk right back there. You can see the hot and cold water supply come in. So I can just pick these up, walk back here, and tend to it. And these covers don't look awesome, right? I mean, they look fine, but you can't see them from the front. So I was over here, we didn't have, again, I said, we didn't have them at all for the first month. And then I said, well, let's cover them. And we just sort of put something in. Thought, well, let's make them prettier, but why? Now, my new ones I'm shipping have covers that fit. They all fit in the factory before we have them shipped out. But this style is just very simple. And again, it's more complicated because we have these blue wall sconces that are shoved into the way, and it's not fit like it should be. But we made it work, and the laundromat's great, and I can pick these up, walk back here, solve a problem. We had to move a vent pipe. We just walked back there, moved it. Actually, we lowered it so you couldn't see it. It was up along the ceiling, and I didn't like the way it looked, so we just ran the vent along the bulkhead and up. And we did that by just walking on this platform, right? There's the walking platform, without having to crawl over the machine. So another just story for you about why Freedom Bulkheads are awesome. I don't mind looking at the hoses. So a lot of people tell me they don't want to see the hoses. Well, that's just because me too. That's what they're used to. They're used to the bulkhead covering the hoses. But the downside of that is then you get to see the bulkhead, which means as a laundromat owner, you now have a new system to maintain for however long you own the laundromat, which means if the covers aren't level on the top, if they buckle a little bit over time, or one of them chips, you have to maintain that. You have to go change it or live with the ugly spot. Well, if the bulkheads are below your washers, you don't have to maintain them, and they don't have to lay perfectly. Like you said last time we walked back there, there's a gap but you can't see the gap from the store. And again, I had the phone way up high, and I walked past all those machines, and I'm 5'11", and you couldn't see them. So it doesn't matter that they're not set perfectly because no one can see them. And I love being able to service the equipment after the fact by walking back here. And again, I have a brand new teammate, and we were at another store, and the neighbor complained because there was water coming into his suite. And so we just walked back there. There was a hose that was over tightened. I think it squished the gasket a little bit and was leaking, and that was what was causing the leak into my neighbor. And I was able to just quickly find that. Well, while we were there, we cleaned up the trash that had fallen behind it, and it was all so easy. So that's the real point. Easy is better. And now that you can walk behind your bulkheads, you can go clean these. At my stores, my original stores that don't have Freedom bulkheads, but they do have bulkhead covers that are lower, this gets dirt on it, lint, and you can clean them. Now, my current stores, I can't walk back there. There's no Freedom bulkheads. I can't, so I have to kind of use a little brush, or you just clean it whenever you feel like it, this store's been open, I don't know, 6 months, and there's no real lint on there now. But it's easy enough to walk back here and do it. So Freedom bulkheads, because Freedom is better by laundry owners, for laundry owners. Us owning laundries, thinking about how we use bulkheads, not just how we spec them or not how the distributor sells them to you. Sure, we're used to something, and that's good, and there's always new things, and I'll mess up on something for sure. But I want you to know that we have practiced this as laundry owners, and I think this is going to help you have a more successful laundromat, because your bulkheads will be smaller, your guests can see more, your bulkheads can be narrower so you can use more floor space for the guests. Again, this is not a real wide store, so I shoved them as close as I could to the wall. No extra space. I want more space for the guests, not for me. I can crawl back here, and there's plenty of room to walk, even around those water pipes. Actually, there's another video where I walk backwards, lifting the covers with one hand, holding the phone with my other hand. And again, some of these covers are not, they have to fit around the little blue thing there, and they're not as easy to move one-handed. But I did it while I was on the phone, and it's fine. And you can't see them. I just walked past, can't see the covers. Doesn't really matter. Freedom bulkheads. We can't wait to see you guys soon. Freedom is better.